Hi, Stephanie. How you doing? So I've got your ad up right here. It is. Okay. And I want to go through the ad. I want to make a couple of suggestions, just to kind of maybe work out a little bit on the hierarchy, and just to clarify the message a little bit. So, it's difficult, I think, for you guys. This is a 200 level class. I mean, you guys are pretty fresh in design school. And this assignment is not only asking you to work with Photoshop, but it's also asking you to work with typography and layout as well. So it's pretty difficult, but I just want to get you guys on the right path. So I want to make some suggestions for you to move forward. The first thing I noticed is that there's too much going on in the ad. You're asking right off the bat. There are 7 things that you're asking that are sharing hierarchy, that you're asking the viewer to decide for themselves which they want to look at first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Each one is roughly the same size, so they all carry the same visual weight, and they all kind of demand the same type of visual hierarchy. So I think that's a mistake. You never want your viewer to decide. As a designer, you always decide where you want your viewer to look first, second, third, fourth, and then your exit strategy. So I think that there's a couple of ways that we can rectify that situation. But in doing so, I want to talk first about this layout in general design terms. Okay, you got this 2 columns basically, right? And the thing that's really killing your ad here is that you've got this. Well, first you've got center type, and you don't ever want a center type. You center type for a wedding invitation maybe, but or something very formal, but you would never center type for an ad. Maybe in a deck for um, a magazine article, like a magazine spread, but really it's just so rare to see. And the reason being is because it's just too difficult. These negative spaces on each side, see how they're symmetrical, and it's just too difficult to ascertain, to go from that line to the next line, and there's just too many visual starting points in centered type. So my suggestion always is to left align, right reg your type. You've got widows. That's a widow. That's a widow. I think that now that's typographic wise. So these are all taking the exact same visual weight too. So you're not letting your viewer know where you want them to look first, second, and third in terms of typography. So I want to do one thing here, and you'll see this, but this. Oh yeah, that's a high res image. Never mind. I thought that was a low resolution image. It's just that it's so far from the focal point. It's looks like it's falling apart. The other 2 look like good, nice high resolution images. So good job there. So how do we rectify this? Well, it's easy. It's really easy, and it's basic page mechanics. And I'm going to use an example to show you. And I've used this. You guys are probably so sick of seeing this example, but this is it. And this is the example I've been using all along. Now, the page mechanics wise, this is actually set up beautifully, and it works very well for a magazine ad. It uses a formula that's been used for a long time, and it just works. And that's using the image to draw your viewer in, then using your headline and your subhead to create some interest, then filling in that interest with this paragraph of body copy. Then you have your logo, call to action, and contact information. Okay, so just take a look at that ad. Just take a look at it and see how nicely it breathes and see how everything works well with each other. It just works, okay? Now look at this and see, now can you start to see the fragmentation in the ad? I wanted to do that again. Oh, I didn't mean to do that because I can never find this ad in this. Oh, there it is. Well, whatever. It was looking just as good over here, so we'll look at it over here. So, excuse me. So, I want you to try it. I want you to try one image, maybe this image. Use your image as your background. You don't have to put everything in boxes. That's for, that we don't do that in design. That's for kitchen. That's for your kitchen drawers. In design, we keep everything open and breathing and working in unison with the whole concept, the whole layout. So you don't want to put any type or any images in jail like this by putting them in boxes. My suggestion is to do this. My suggestion is to use one image, use a headline, a subhead, body copy, paragraph of body copy informing, and then your logo and contact area. Okay, think about it. I think you experiment with it too. I think you're going to really be pleased. This is a great image to use too. So decide on which image you want to use. But I think if you shoot for that, and then you would have that image. That would have to be, your images, of course, have to be adjusted. And the one thing I'm not noticing is that the image that you had cut out. So you'll have to use that. Was that from 2.1 where you isolate the image from its background? It looks like it. I don't remember because there's so many students, but so you would add that too. Okay. So anyway, good job. I mean, everything's looking great. Your images look great. Good placement, good setup, good document. Just the bones, the structure, the page mechanics is a little bit off. So think about it. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to give me a holler. Okay, thanks very much.